I was just going to point out the person in Chef that is recording. You know when he freaks out?
Chef?
In Chef,
Which chef?
the movie Chef.
But which chef?
The chef, Jon Favreau.
The chef. Okay, yeah.
Chef.
Sure, I got you. I got the image in my head.
You know when he's freaking out? It's like, it hurts when you write that shit.
Oh, yeah.
To the critic. Somebody in the background's recording on their iPad.
On their iPad?
They're holding up this huge rectangle.
Fuck yeah.
Old people.
I just wanted to say that.
That does say something about the restaurant that he was working at. I mean, it's for old fogies, out of touch LA folks. Am I right? Why didn't Zoom just close on me?
Yeah. And he quit to make boring food again after being mad about making boring food.
What's
That's
this
the one.
episode gonna be
Same
called?
food every night.
Hey, let's make Cuban subs. I'm tired of making the same food all the time. Let's just make a bunch of Cuban subs.
Yeah.
I guess we're not on the movie yet, but
Well, what's the name of this episode? Because I don't think we,
yeah, welcome
FEEDIA
to
Boys.
FEEDIA Boys.
101.
Yeah,
Is it FEEDIA Boys?
FEEDIA Boys.
All right, perfect. I think that's a funny name. It sounds like feet.
Feet, yeah.
This could either be a food-themed episode or it could be a Quentin Tarantino-themed episode.
Only
Hey,
one way to find out.
Stay
Gotta
and listen.
I guess if you read the rest of the title, you probably know which one we picked. But yeah, every 5 episodes we do our nice themed episode. And of course, the name of this podcast right now is FEEDIA Boys. But the main name, what's the big name? The overall branching thing, it's Media Boys.
The end all be all.
And I'll tell you why it's
media
called
news.
it's called Media Boys because I am, of course, Chris Media Boys Mealy. We named it after my funny nickname.
Oh, okay,
Uh-huh.
gotcha. Yeah, your nickname, right?
Right, I didn't change it because of the podcast.
Yeah.
I already had Media Boys as a nickname.
Yeah. What's crazy
Yes.
is we were born with the same nickname. Like I've been called Media Boy since I was born. Nathan Media Boy Combs. Isn't that crazy?
It's a weird coincidence.
Hey,
Yeah.
but
ever guess what?
now
Don't
wait a
ever
minute.
guess.
Hold on.
I'm William Media Boy Doyle.
Now, of course, we actually go through this bit every episode to explain why we named it Media Boys. So this is our 30th time pretending to be surprised. On the first episode, that's the only one where I was actually genuinely surprised because I didn't know beforehand. We didn't even have a name.
We didn't have a name yet.
And like I said before, this is a themed episode. It's all about that thing you do 3 times a day, and sometimes a little bit in between those 3 things.
Or sometimes you don't. You know.
Or sometimes you
sometimes you
forget.
just starve.
Yeah, sometimes you forget, yeah.
I forget sometimes. Oopsie. I don't know how. I love food. I'm a big food head. I mean, can you tell me something? What are your relationships with the old fork and knife we call meals?
I'm not forking and knifing. I got a spoon here. I got the Tonight Dough Ben and Jerry's ice cream. I'm
You're about
eating
to
all
go
the
in, huh?
cast. I'm gonna go in during the cast just to let you
I
guys know.
got, I got some zebra cakes back here.
Fuck yeah, bring them to the table.
It's funny. I guess we're all deserting tonight because I had a peppermint mochi.
Peppermint mochi.
Peppermint mochi.
Mochi, good. And then I had actually some lemon ice cream. Because
Lemon ice cream?
How was that?
some lemon ice cream. It was good. It reminded me of Italian ice,
Oh, all right.
a classic dessert from my boyhood.
Like a sherbet type deal you had?
It you could call it that, I guess. It was good. It was pretty good. It felt like a light ice cream.
That's good.
No chunks or nothing. Just lemon all the way, baby.
All lemon all the time.
Correctamundo. And hey, welcome to the podcast, of course. And we always talk about what we've been doing besides what we're gonna be mainly discussing.
Consuming.
Yes, and of course, if you're interested in reviews or whatever other stuff that we make, there's always the Media Boys YouTube channel. Gotta plug it right off the bat, because then at the end of the podcast, when I say actually the YouTube channel doesn't really exist, we go full circle and we have a nice twist at the end of the show.
Yeah, and it's funny.
Right.
And
Comedy gold.
I just want to say, somebody got dibs. Comments on one of our music reviews. Some guy with a band wanted us to review his upcoming EP. So
Really?
I told him to send it to Media Boys Pod. So look, somebody's asking for reviews. Send your stuff in. We'll review it. We got you.
That's cool. Maybe we can do
Yeah.
a whole episode on it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's this idea we had from the very beginning. People send in their own stuff and we discuss it. Hey, it's free plugs. You want it. You want this. Send us your stuff,
Tell us.
mediaboyspod@gmail.com.
Until we hate it. And then
That is possible. I will reserve my hatred though for in the honor of you, the content creator, the beautiful whatever you may be of our listenership, the one that makes.
Yeah, I feel like we never get too into we never go harsh on stuff,
no.
right? Because
No. Every once in a while, but
everything has redeeming qualities. One
I
way
think-
or another.
Haven't we said this a bunch of times on the show? Everything is somebody's favorite. Anything, no matter what, there's some kind of quality to it that somebody would enjoy.
I mean, but at the same time, I'll poop on a stinker for sure. Why not?
Like Matt Hazard.
Like Eat led the Return of Matt Hazard, a game that we played that we bring up probably once every 5 episodes. I would say so.
It's a good one.
Well, look, what have you guys been up to that you haven't been going off on the YouTube channel?
I've been playing a lot of this game, Monster Sanctuary, on Xbox Game Pass.
What does it play like?
It's like a Pokemon mixed with like a Metroidvania type deal. So it's like 2D Pokemon, and when you get a monster, its overworld ability, its exploration ability, has to do with unlocking new areas to progress through the story, and it's pretty cool.
That sounds pretty cool. I was interested in it. I kind of wanted to try it because I heard it was just like a Pokemon hybrid. So
yeah, I think it's a little more goofy with it. Each monster has a full skill tree that you put in skill points into,
that's really
and
cool.
every battle is 3v3.
Mhm.
So it's you get 3 turns per turn because you have 3 different monsters, and the way they work together is pretty cool.
Neat. I've been playing GoldenEye, the original GoldenEye. We had been talking about it, and I went back and turned on, getting my retro achievements in it. Having a good time. Game's hard. Really hard.
Is it?
Well,
Yeah, really?
It's hard because the objectives are so vague. I'm trying my hardest to play these levels without a guide, and I just don't know what I'm doing. It does not do a good job of setting that up. But I mean, that's what it was at that time. I'm not going to be too hard against it. It's still fun.
I know what you're talking about. I was just playing the Dooms, all the Doom games. Same problem. Some levels you just how was I supposed to know? You're supposed to press A on this wall to progress.
Exactly. Stuff like that in this. Just kind of weird secrets. Kind of like the original Zelda. If you've ever played the original Zelda, you kind of just have to put a bomb in front of every wall and figure it out and go for it.
Kind of sucks.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, this is the especially when you're an achievement hunter, it can be an issue. All those hidden trophies, then you have to make a nice Google. And sometimes I recently was playing Astro's Playroom, which is a nice demo. It's actually technically a full game for a demo, a free game that came with the console. I really enjoyed it, and I platinumed it. But I didn't get all the achievements just playing the levels for the first time. I was going back and forth. Yeah, I was going back and forth from level to level to get these achievements. And one feature in that game I really liked was when you press the pause button, you see a map and you can jump from level to level. So there's no, there's no like, oh, you have to go over the level selection or you have to play through the game again or something like that. I do think it's so well made. And I think that really shows off how powerful the SSD is in
Yeah,
the console
that's what I was gonna say.
too. So easy game to platinum for sure. And it was a lot of fun.
I think the question on everyone's tongues is, have you played Bug Snacks yet?
I have not played Bug Snacks yet. I told myself,
What are you doing, Chris?
I would own Bug Snacks, but I'm trying not to pay money for video games. In February, I stopped myself and said, Chris, you spend too much money on games. You got to stop it. So I did.
All right.
I haven't bought any. I'm not going to buy any games in February.
No games in February?
No new games for your console?
Talk to me next month.
What's even coming out in February?
I bought a few PS5 games in January.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. What's coming out in February?
Yeah. And what's even coming out?
I don't know. I haven't been paying attention. I follow all these deals accounts. I don't buy new games, really. I just buy the games that are on sale. And even the games on sale, I mean, they build up, I'll buy that game's only $5 right now. Oh, that game's $7. Well,
that game's $1.75.
And then you look at your cart and it's like $40 for the whole package.
Yeah.
Right. It all builds up. And I'm just trying to ignore it all, ignore the deals. Because you also start to notice that a lot of games are on sale all the time, like every month.
Yes.
Same games, like, oh, there's an Ubisoft sale happening. Oh, EA's having a sale. It's like, yep, that's going to happen again in 2 weeks.
Yep.
So don't worry about missing that deal.
Yep.
And on Steam, there
very
are just
common.
certain games that'll be like $1, and that's like a big deal. It's like, yeah, just buy it. It's only $1. But guess what? It'll be $1 again very soon. Because when a game is $1, then I notice all the other deals, and then it builds up. That's what happens.
Yep.
I can't just buy one.
Because it's like, oh, this one's cheap. If I'm going to buy something, let me just buy some other things, I do it too.
One thing about the PS5 too is I'll definitely want to renew my membership, which of course is like what, $60 for a year?
Yeah, about.
So that's gonna cost money at some point because I really do want to renew it. There's a lot of games I want to play.
Yeah, there's always games.
Yes, none of this had to do with food.
None of it.
It's fine. We already told you what we had for dessert. What do you want to run down of the whole day? Let's see. I almost forgot breakfast, lunch. It was snacks, dinner.
Want to get into
chicken
the movie?
and rice.
Speaking of FEEDIA boys, what have we been consuming?
Actually,
I just said.
I just had like some.
No.
Vegan place.
I just said
consuming like our media. What media have we been consuming?
We were just talking about that.
Oh, we were?
Yeah, this morning I woke up. I ate Chef. For lunch.
I meant like our three things.
Oh,
that's what I meant.
For lunch, I had a little Barry Lyndon. That's a big lunch, but sometimes you have to. Then for dinner, a little Overcooked too, in preparation for this episode.
You're getting a little ahead of yourself. But what did we watch for our main course or appetizer, I guess?
We watched Chef,
which is the movie.
Yeah, we watched 2014 Chef Jon Favreau movie. It's a meme,
You're never going to be happy cooking for someone else.
Food truck's a great idea. We're talking about a white-on-white 88 Chevy Grumman food truck. It's a blank canvas for your dreams. I'm gonna have him pull it around. Thank you. Don't thank me till you see it.
So what are you gonna do?
You're gonna laugh.
Tony, Carl's got a taco truck.
For real?
I was so jealous when I heard your voice. I was like, that's what I want to do.
Well, now wait a minute. Now hold up for a second. Chef? We watched Chef. Chef. It's directed by Jon Favreau. And guess what? It stars him too.
definitely
John
stars
John
him.
Favreau. I think he wrote it. He probably definitely wrote it. I don't know.
Definitely.
I'm
This
just
seems like
guessing.
his passion project movie
It's about a head chef. He quits his restaurant job.
because somebody tweeted at him.
Yeah, because he got into a Twitter fight with a critic, and then he does a thing, and then he goes to the thing, and eventually he has his own little, meal truck.
He
or whatever.
reconnects with his son.
He reconnects his son. It's
He
really
reconnects with his ex-wife.
It's a father-son relationship story.
And wife.
And wife, played by the great Sophia
Sophia.
Vergara. I knew that.
He's in Modern Family.
Yep.
Yeah, she's in a lot of stuff. My brain just skipped a beat. Look,
Robert Downey Jr. shows up.
Yeah. Scarlett Johansson's in it.
Dustin Hoffman.
Dustin Hoffman. I forgot.
This is a meme. This movie is a meme. It became a meme probably 2015, around that time.
Yeah.
Thanks to, they're the Filthy Frank era of YouTube. All those guys, iDubbbz, Max Mofo, those fellas. They did My Name is Chef.
My name is
Boom.
Jeff.
And guess what? In the film itself, Jon Favreau becomes a meme, and he literally says, "I have become a meme."
I'm like a meme. You know what a meme is? I'm a meme.
Oh,
I'm a fucking meme.
girl.
The first half of this movie is kind of about social media in a way. It's just about him getting into a Twitter argument.
Yeah.
And then he rubs shit on his balls with his friend.
Yeah.
next to his child.
Oh, you put some of that on your balls?
Now wait, that's later in the film.
You putting cornstarch on your balls?
Well, I do want to talk about the social media thing. Is this the movie that started the whole Twitter thing above people's heads and when people use social media in movies, they don't show a screen, they show it above their heads.
Floating text.
Which is a trope I hate. I hate that trope.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think this era, this 2014, 2015, this time period, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of person is tweeting. You see the image, and then it makes the tweet sound.
Yes.
Another movie I can think of that does it too is Frank. In the beginning of that movie.
Okay, and I think that was around the same time, right?
I have watched this. I've seen this movie so many times.
I have too.
I used to get drunk, make a bunch of grilled cheeses, and put on Chef. That would be a night. And I don't know.
Why is that?
Why would I?
Can we dig into that a little? Why Chef?
Because he makes this bomb ass grilled cheese in it.
That's
Scarlett
why.
Johansson was sitting there.
Wouldn't it just make you hungrier though?
No,
you'd be
he cooks grilled cheese for his son. Did you even watch the movie?
What did he make for Scarlett Johansson? I forget.
pasta.
Stir-fry.
That's Gabagool or something.
Yeah, and it plays
Gabagool. That was
specials.
That was some pasta dish.
I know. I'm just kidding.
There was no meat in that
Goulash?
dish.
What did they make?
I don't know. I don't know what it was called. I don't know. Chef make food. That's one thing we have to get across. Chef make food. The titular chef of the film make food, and the food looks good. You're right, Will. The food looks very good. This
Apparently
would be a great movie to watch drunk.
The knife work is him.
Really?
It's just Jon Favreau. He had to learn how to
I'm sure he's
cut like that.
I'm sure he good chef, Mr. Favreau.
Yeah, I'm sure he picked up a few stuff. I wouldn't mind, walking up to his truck, getting some of that pork from him.
Well, one thing, you can clearly tell Favreau has a passion for chef, being chef, because he also has a show on Netflix that is based off this movie.
Yeah,
where it seems like he just eats food with celebrities because he has that power. He is also, might I add, he is also one of the biggest directors alive too. So I guess that's part of it.
He did Iron Man. Look at him now.
He did Lion King.
Lion King. Yeah.
Yeah. A movie. He just said, "Hey, can you animate that thing? You're doing a
He
great
also
job."
did Jungle Book, right?
Yep. He did Jungle Book. Yeah.
He certainly didn't.
I forget what his next project is. Lion King 2, baby.
No, that's Barry Jenkins.
Oh, that's right, Barry Jenkins. That's gonna be wild.
Disney's probably going to stick on some sort of Marvel TV show, huh? Oh, he's doing Mandalorian.
That's right. That's right.
Correct. He's the Mandalorian now. What was your favorite food in this movie? What food stands
The
out to you the most?
chocolate lava cake, of course.
The grilled cheese that he makes.
No, seriously, not the lava cake.
You know, it's like an uncooked cake, right?
That's what he freaks out about. That
Yeah.
is not an uncooked cake.
Yep. And he
I
gives it
like,
to him.
honestly, the Cubans looked good. I could go for a
Cubans.
a
I like
Cuban
it.
sandwich.
I don't like
It's-
pickles, so it just doesn't.
That's weird.
They've
Yeah.
been growing on me. Pickles?
Pickles are great.
I'm a pickle fiend now.
I'm a pickle head. Yeah, we buy pickles in the jars and just
When,
pick away.
When this podcast started, I was not a pickle head, but now,
This
oh, yeah.
episode,
I
this
can-
specific episode,
no, back in
change your mind.
back in the first episode. Listen to
Okay.
it.
You
That
say
voice you're hearing does not like pickles.
well.
but
You
now-
said at the beginning of the first episode, I don't really like pickles that much.
Yeah.
And that set the whole stage for this podcast.
The in the hour, I think when it hits the hour 2 minutes, I say that.
I remember that clearly. Look, Favreau himself as an actor, I do find him likable. I think he's a good actor.
Yeah, I don't have any issues with him.
If he didn't become the biggest director in the world, or one of them at least, I
Now that
think
he's famous, you don't like him?
No. I think he could have made a decent career making movies like this. He also acts in, because this is kind of him going back to his indie roots. Of
Yeah,
course,
back to the Zathura days, right? and
Zathura.
He didn't
Yeah,
say
he made Zathura.
Wow. Look
Yeah.
at that. Look at him now.
Zathura.
His son is the kid from Zathura. Do you feel old yet?
Well, he
John
became,
Favreau's the kid from Zathura.
well, he made one of the, at the time, big hit indie film swingers in the 90s. He was a part of that era, the 90s era of indie filmmakers going big. And look at him now, right?
I just want to say I liked this movie before. I thought it was good. I think it's a good movie.
yeah, no, I agree. I think it's good. I like it. Like I don't think it's amazing. But you know, it's a serviceable, like, fine movie.
It's fine. It's got some good music in it.
Mm-hmm.
It is, the structure of the movie is really strange, I think. Because like it's like front loaded with all the drama, and not even really drama. It's very lightweight, just a Twitter argument. And then the rest of the movie is absolutely dramaless.
Yeah, it's weird because, like, it's literally like the hour mark. It's like a 2-hour movie, or about 2 hours. The first hour is that, and the second hour is just food truck traveling.
And everything wraps up like right at the end. Like they wrap up like it's like the critics like, you know what? Come cook for me. And that's like the end of the movie.
The critic literally is like, "Yep, you can have a restaurant. I'll pay for a restaurant that you get to run." Okay, we wrapped it up. Yep, we did it.
It all comes full circle.
Like a Cuban sandwich, it is nicely wrapped and delivered to us.
Marinated for days.
Yeah, and just like his balls were marinated in cornstarch.
Right.
So go back to that scene.
Not to be too on the nose here, but this is, if you open a dictionary and you look up comfort food, I think this is the definition. It's pure comfort food. Like there's really no, I guess all the dramas with Dustin Hoffman and him. Sure. Like that's when it gets the most tense, but like even then it's like it goes away. He yells at the guy, whatever. You still get to look at nice food.
Like, nothing really happens, right? Like he's like, I quit, and then like it's fine.
Yeah, there's no like big like.
There's no.
I mean, there's the big fight with him and the critic, but
it is a Sunday matinee. This is a movie you watch to, I
mean, I watched it with my family when it was new. Like we rented it from like Redbox, and yeah, that's that kind of movie.
It's the only movie I've ever seen where it begins with a character cutting a pig's head off that I can call comfort food
Yeah, yeah.
and nice. I remember a long time ago. Will, you're not alone in the drunken watching chef thing, because I had friends that did the same thing. They literally
Really?
got drunk and watched Chef. I'm not joking. For some reason, that was just their go-to choice. And I
Yeah.
remember one time
I would like
was
burn my
hanging out-
hands making grilled cheeses because like I was like, he uses his hands drinking like a full bottle of wine. Look at me, oh chef.
No,
And like
we were-
I would like burn my hands.
Jesus.
I honestly don't remember too many details, but I was hanging out. We were just drinking, I'm assuming. And someone put on Chef. And the only scene I got to see was the beginning with the pig thing. I'm like, yeah, you shut this off. I don't remember what it was.
Who was that? Luigi? Get him out of here.
I don't want to watch a movie where Jon Favreau cuts a pig's head off. But that's like the only part where I was kind of like, ew, all right. And then it becomes nice bacon. But
You did that?
so yeah, I mean, like this, I was expecting mostly food truck stuff, but the image on the poster is actually the end of the movie, because the image on the poster is Sofia Vergara in the food truck, and they're all smiling,
handing out sandwiches and
handing
shit.
out sandwiches. But that's the end of the movie when
Yeah,
the food truck's a huge success.
That's like literally the last scene.
Yeah,
Right.
but I mean, I can tell you they did it just to get her on the poster. Just
It's-
a nice shot.
It's so funny that they set up this tension, this whole Twitter thing, like he's a pariah, a chef pariah. But it's almost like he's just some famous guy, really, when he starts doing the food truck. There's only one part where a guy's like, hey, you're that guy from that YouTube video. But he's like meaning it in a positive way, even though the video is him screaming at some guy.
He's
like
relatable.
it feels like a crazy person screaming at someone.
I've never watched like a public freak out compilation and been like, yeah, if I met that person in real life, I would love to like say hi to them. I don't know about that.
I
Right.
think it's very funny that like he's like seeing Scarlett Johansson and like because it's weird. Like inside the movie, he's like the chef, but like it's like Scarlett Johansson, and then it's like, oh, his ex-wife is Sophia, whatever. I don't know. Jon
Yeah.
Favreau.
Yeah.
What's wrong with John? Come on.
I don't know.
Buddy, that's a classic trope of any
He wrote the movie.
passion. This is clearly a passion project.
He's
He
He
like,
probably wrote it and was like,
he wrote it
I
like
could,
you know
I
who
could get Scarlett in on this.
Hey, you know who can play this person? Scarlett.
He's like the king of queens,
Oh,
It's just like any, big,
All right.
big old fat guy. He's dating hot
Nice.
starlets,
yeah.
right?
He's 58, and Scarlett Johansson is 36. I mean, whatever that age gap was in 2014.
Well, let's do the math
It would
here.
be the same age gap though.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, she was in her.
He was 51,
Okay.
or was he? He could have been 52. I don't know when his birthday is. Please.
Something like that.
Cut to me failing a Jeopardy question because I don't know Jon Favreau's birthday.
How old was Jon Favreau when he dated Scarlett Johansson?
His birthday is October 19th, 1966. He was born in Queens, New York City, New York, USA. As one would be. Okay.
Hey, I think we've drained this pig called Chef. Wanna pop over to the video game?
Well, yeah.
Well, wait a minute.
Final
I want to
thought.
dig into all the themes of this movie, the father-son relationship.
Loss of innocence was a really like big deal with this one, and I need to talk about that for a sec.
Why is this movie almost 2 hours? I'm sorry.
It could have been an hour and a half for real.
It's just like just a
Chef, but with no food.
It is almost a hangout movie, I guess. And I like hangout movies. I like chilling out with some characters. And you get to look at some nice food, I guess. So in my opinion, it's worth checking out if you just want a nice breezy Sunday movie.
Yeah,
Easy
I like
going.
it. It's fine.
Terrific. We ate that one up. Let's move on to the next one. Who wants to do it? Which one?
It's the video game. We did Overcooked 2.
What's the plot on that one?
You cook food and serve it up. So the game is meant to be played with 4 people, and it gets crazy in the kitchen. Too many cooks in the kitchen, one would say. And you kind of all have tasks to do, like, oh, we have to make burgers, so somebody has to chop the lettuce, somebody has to cook the meat, somebody has to get the buns ready and serve it up on a nice plate for the hungry customers.
And the game doesn't tell you these roles. You have to choose them amongst your friends, like at the beginning, like, okay, I'm getting buns. Okay, I'm making the patties, So it's chaotic.
It's a sequel to Overcooked Chapter 1, and it pretty much feels like a continuation of that epic storyline that we all love. But it's very similar gameplay. I mean, pretty much the exact same. The only changes, there's just more. There's more characters to play as. I don't know. Is there more levels in the story mode?
Was there online in the first one?
No, there was no online. That's another
No online.
add-on. And the music, all the music's different. That's right. The iconic Overcooked theme has been changed, folks. We're now listening to iconic Overcooked 2 theme. There's a story mode, arcade mode, versus. Did not play versus.
There's what would the verse be like? 2v2?
So yeah, that's what I played versus mode. It's what it is. It's 2v2. 2 people versus 2 people. You got half a kitchen split down the middle. There's like maps specifically made for versus mode.
That's cool.
Yeah, I 100% this game, got every achievement in it on Steam. And me and my girlfriend got really, really into it. And we played versus and we were clowning on everybody.
Hell yeah, you're fucking stomping people.
We never lost a game. We played the 15 games for the achievement. It was fun. We were stomping though.
Hell yeah.
It was a good time. Yeah.
Yeah, you like to hear stories like that.
Where we're stomping other gamers. Well, here's the
other
thing, though.
kids who have it.
Here's the thing is
children.
you can face off against, so you can do 2v1. So like the single player mode is you always have 2 people, right? It's not only one person. You have to control both characters. You have to switch between both. So it's 2 people versus 1 person switching between 2 characters. So that
ain't gonna fly. That ain't gonna do it.
No, not at all.
Yeah, we were playing it together, but we were unable to finish the game together. So I was playing it by myself today. And I'll tell you,
Beat it?
No, it took me maybe an hour to get through like 4 levels to get 3 stars, because playing by yourself is a big no-no with this one. It's just not. It's not maybe not as fun. It's a lot more frustrating because you need that chaos, and controlling 2 characters. Your game plan, you'll end up playing level 3 or 4 times before you nail it, and it just, I don't know. It's not as fun. It's not fun to have some guy just standing there when he could be doing something.
Yeah, when it's a game like that and it's designed to be played 2 players or more. But I guess like they want to put in a single player just in case, like for the people playing it by themselves. But it's not designed that way, right?
No, I never recommend anybody really play it that way. It's just not that fun.
And the way the story moves along, I mean, you'll just go from random level to random level. The theming is all over the place. But the levels are fairly dynamic to the point where I have a hard time paying attention sometimes. There's just so much happening. So much going on. It can be stressful.
Getting distracted, yeah.
But it is so much easier when you're playing with friends and you each pick a role, because that's what you have to do. That's the main strategy.
Or you don't pick a role and you all end up with 3 buns somehow.
Or whenever tables move to block off sides of the kitchen, everybody's on the wrong side.
And you can't get to those buns.
Yep.
It's interesting because each level will force you to change your strategy.
Yeah. And I guess there's something really fun about that where like if you were by yourself and that happened, I think I would be really angry. But when if you're with like your friends, like when we're playing, I was just laughing. We were just laughing, kind of having fun with it.
I would just be like, oh, now I gotta wait a little bit before I can play this game.
And I do want to. I think this game's easy with multiple people. Like we were 3-starring like it was nobody's business. Like we were rushing through this game, pretty easy.
Yeah, and when you are playing with multiple people, some of the levels get very tight, but they're also moving back and forth, and there's stuff happening. So it does get pretty insane. So don't go in thinking that you'll do perfect on each one. I mean, especially if it's your first time playing it, or like that you're going to actually seriously get down to business, do all the orders, get it all, ready. I mean, I think the three of us have played a lot of this game, right?
Yeah, I think we.
I played a good amount of it.
Because Overcooked 1 was a big party game for me in college. Overcooked. We would play Overcooked quite a bit. And it is a lot of fun. I mean, I have more experience with Overcooked 1 than Overcooked 2. But I would say, I mean, like, from my experience playing Overcooked 2 with you guys, the shorter experience, I would still say it's the same quality. Maybe the difficulty spikes are a little more awkward, a little more all over the place. Like, it'll go from, like it goes pretty easy for a while. And then out of nowhere, oh, my God, we have two little platforms, and we have to move across on a little platform. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that level with the swinging middle platform.
Oh God, yeah.
It's like really hard.
There's just no warning. Out of nowhere. Yep. Now we're in the real shit, and then it gets a little easier. Oh, now it's hard, super hard again. But that's not a knack against the game. It's just they kind of put the levels together a little awkwardly, almost. But overall, still a lot of fun to play. Gameplay is pretty great.
I was playing this game on my phone because I was out of town for the weekend, so I was streaming it from my Xbox onto my phone. I don't recommend this game on the phone. It was very hard to see, like, all the little icons for what was where. Like, I couldn't tell the difference between buns and rice because the icons, are similar when they're really small.
Yeah.
I had a hard time dealing with that.
Speaking of that, I've been experimenting with the PlayStation remote, like not the controller, but the remote app on the phone. And on the phone, it has a controller built in. It's so bad. It takes up most of your screen.
Yeah, you got to Bluetooth that.
It's impossible to control. So I was actually just testing it out with. You can't use the PS5 controller awkwardly.
It has to be PS4.
It has to be PS4 controllers. For some reason, iPhones don't support the PS5 controller yet.
That's strange.
Wow. That's
very weird. But I was just trying it out with the PS4 controller. It wasn't too bad. I mean, if I had an iPad, which I don't, but if I did, I could see myself playing PlayStation on the iPad whenever I'm go somewhere, right? That's a great feature because another big party game besides Overcooked was Jackbox. And I would end up bringing my PlayStation places just to play Jackbox.
But now you could bring your iPad.
Yeah, now I could just stream it to the TV.
The thing about Jackbox is you could play it with that on-screen control.
Right. But also, if I'm streaming to the TV from my phone, I can't use my phone to play Jackbox. That's a big issue.
Yeah, but I was talking about with an iPad, set it up.
Yeah, right. I can get a nice iPad to do that. Well, folks, Overcooked 2.
There's not a lot to talk about it.
Yeah,
right?
It's very simple. It's fun.
Hectic food game.
This is one of those games that I would say is a big hit, right? It's a fairly popular game, fairly popular co-op game. I completely understand why it's, despite it being very stressful, it is still a ton of fun. At the end of the day, it's still it's fun to play with your friends. Get a little frustrated with your friends sometimes, but in the end, you get a goal done, right?
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's always rewarding.
All right, well, who wants to deliver us our meal of food by MF Doom?
Yeah, Food by MF Doom.
Beef rap can lead to getting teeth capped or even a reef from armed dudes on some grief crap. I suggest a change of diet. It can lead to high blood pressure if you're fried, or even a stroke, heart attack, heart disease. It ain't no starting back once arteries start to squeeze. Take the easy way out, phony. Until then, they know they wouldn't be talking that baloney in the bullpen. So disgusting.
2004 MF Doom album. MF Doom, who died recently, sadly, rip, last year. Yeah, it's a concept.
Rip?
Yeah, rip.
When,
You know?
when I don't think that's something you say when somebody actually dies.
Oh, I guess you're right. R.I.P. Rest in peace.
May he rest. May God rest his soul.
All caps to the
Lift up
man's
from
name,
this heavenly
please.
plan.
Oh, yeah, there you go. It's a concept album about food. It goes over a lot of topics.
Food. It's
food.
also just an anagram for MF Doom.
Yep.
Hey, that's right.
Pretty sick.
Pretty cool.
Very correct. It's a concept album all about food.
It's a rap album.
Oh baby, I'm in heaven.
Got that classic, the MF Doom beats on this.
Well, it's not only about food. It's also about sex
Lots and lots of sex.
and food.
He applies everything to food. The idea of using food as a metaphor for so much different types of food. MF Doom has a writing style and flow that is so unique to him, and production too that has been so influential just in general, and the way he uses those things to rap about food as a main theme. He mines so much from this topic. You could clearly tell the man is passionate about food, like a certain chef, John Favreau, that I know.
He's the John Favreau at the rap game.
But they use their passion for food in different ways. John Favreau
uses it for evil.
Well, one uses it to hype up his character of Doom, and to apply to, I guess, just all types of themes. Whereas one of them uses it as a metaphor for to tell us that he can have sex with Scarlett Johansson and Sofia Vergara.
Oh yeah.
Very deep stuff we're working with there.
I have never listened to MF Doom before this. Like the use of his samples, like voices from like TV shows and shit.
Yeah, from the
Specifically,
Fantastic Four.
The
cartoon.
Fantastic Four show.
Yeah.
Fantastic Four TV show.
Yeah, I always love that.
I like the little story he tells with it.
Yeah. If there's another album, check out Mad Villain. It has even more of this. It's a great album. I'd recommend that one. But yeah, no, I love it. Like, there's tracks that are just like samples layered together to continue a story.
It kind of some of the songs kind of feel like I'm listening to a YouTube hoot.
Yeah, because they sound like they're sampled from like complete opposite places. So like tonally they're like different. Yeah, no, for sure.
You use it for a lot of playfulness, a lot of comedy.
And God, the samples on this thing are nuts. Like some of these beats, like my favorite song on here, and like it's a song that's like I listen to all the time. One Beer. That sample is nuts. And like a lot of other rappers have used that sample since, but like this is like the best use of it. It's really good.
It goes off for sure. A lot of bangers on this damn thing. It's really banger after banger. And I mean,
Rap Snitches.
Oh yeah, that's just
that's a fucking great song.
Yeah, it is. That's another one with a great beat. But
yeah,
man. But
Deep
I
Fried
love
Friends.
What's so sad about MF Doom dying is he's so unique. You know, his flow and like lyricism, especially like on this album, it's so different. Like no one really
different.
Does this. Like his flow is so off the wall. A lot of people compare him to RZA a lot of the times, but even then I think he's on his own different level.
I think it's weird go ahead, Chris.
One thing I appreciate about MF Doom too in his career was how, for someone that was very reclusive and you don't really know anything about his personal life. I mean, he literally wore a mask on stage to hide his identity. Was the way he gave other artists or worked with other artists, and he would literally give them the spotlight on his own album,
Yeah.
just let them go off. In fact, another great album of his King Ghidorah, that's one of his many aliases. That album under King Ghidorah, forgetting the name actually, it's all other artists. Like he's barely even on it. And he really just does a lot of producing there. It's still great, and I still consider it a great like MF Doom album, right? Even if he's barely on it, his mark is still there. And in fact, you mentioned Mad Villainy. That's one of those albums that a lot of hip hop albums today are compared to Mad Villainy still.
Yeah, it's like that seminal like rap album. Like
if an album has a sample on it, you will see critics say this was heavily inspired by Mad Villainy.
Yeah.
For example, like Earl's Sweatshirt, one of his, any
oh
recent
yeah,
release.
You hear that a lot. Yeah.
And I'm sure as a hip hop artist that can get obnoxious, but also MF Doom. I mean, yeah, there was inspiration by MF Doom, absolutely. He became known as a rapper's rapper. What are you gonna say, Will?
I would say sometimes like he just completely cuts off all the music, and like it's so frequent and so abrupt every time it happens, where it's like the music stops.
Oh, like the song just ends, just like
no, like in the middle, like to emphasize like a
oh, like when the beat
rhyme
drops
or something.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's I guess it's not really like. I guess the beat does drop, but like it just completely stops. Like there is no beat, right? I think that's a little different.
Yeah, and I mean sometimes there are songs like Fig Leaf by Carbonate, which are literally just samples.
Yes.
He does not rap on them. He just it's like a collage of sounds from just old cartoons.
Those ones are the ones that I was saying sound like YouTube poops.
Yes. Yeah.
Like the ones, it's like the whole middle section, I guess, right?
And it's all to establish, this Doom character that he plays. Also, literally the Fantastic Four villain, Doom. He was a big comic nerd, as it's pretty easy to tell from just the fact that he named himself after a Marvel character. I was reading. I'm forgetting the name, but he working with an artist on this album. He was like, what's her name? I have to find out. She was sample. She raps on one of the songs.
I know
it's Guinness's. That's
Guinness's. Yeah.
He like gave her a different name because she reminded him of a character from a comic book. And
Wild.
she went along with it. He gave her a CD of instrumentals, and told her pick one and write a rap for it, and you can pick any of them. And he just gave her that chance to he gave her the spotlight on his own album. Her name's Star with 2 H's. I forget what, I think it was like she was credited as a different name. But she apparently went to a comic store and bought a bunch of comics because he compared her to some character. And she was like, you are completely right. I'm that character.
Hey, cool.
That's fun.
But that relationship to, comic books, animated, old animated shows, old movies, things like that. He really does have such a huge book of references. I'm sure you could go through all the lyrics on this album and be like, oh, that's an obscure reference after obscure reference.
Is there, I don't remember what song it's on. I think it's after it's at the end of like Hoe Cakes. But there's like a shotgun pumping sound. I think that's from Doom, which would make sense.
From Doom?
Cheese.
Oh, from the game.
From the game Doom.
Okay.
Oh, wow. I'd have to listen to that. That's wacky. Do you guys have a favorite song off the album that you enjoyed the most?
Rap Snitches.
Rap Snitches, yeah.
Yeah, that song became one that I would hear constantly, and I would never get bored of it. I put it on a playlist a long time ago. That's when I bump quite a bit. I'll tell you that. I mean, this is one of those albums that I listened to a lot in high school. It became one of my favorites.
Yeah, I hadn't listened to this album in a little bit. I used to listen to it a lot, but coming back to it, it's still very good. Still enjoy it.
I think I like this more than Mad Villainy, actually. Which Mad Villainy is usually considered his best album. But I don't know. I really like the theme of this album. I just like the idea that he just made 15 songs about food and just references, takes all these themes and, just messages and just filters it all through food. And also, I mean, not just food, but also cartoons. And there's one where he uses like an infomercial where he's talking about edible wrappers, and that's really funny.
That is funny.
I like that. Yeah.
Just really good shit, and you're gonna want to bump it very loud. Okay.
Also, just looked it up. It was from Doom, the original Doom.
That's sick.
The shotgun sound. They're like, huh? Because I've been playing a lot of it, as I mentioned probably before.
Yeah, I mean, if you consider yourself someone that knows anything about hip hop music or likes hip hop music, I think this is one you got to listen to if you haven't.
Yeah, for sure. I agree.
I'd be shocked if you haven't, but it's one to check out. Absolutely.
I hadn't, so there you go.
So you got anything else to say? Final thoughts?
No,
it's a good album.
It's a good album. Give it a listen.
Yeah, this is a very good album. Definitely, it's one of my favorites. MF Doom, rest in peace. It's weird to think we won't get a random MF Doom album out of nowhere anymore. That stinks.
I know. It was really sad. I was watching a video with him in it before, like maybe a week before they like announced that he died. And it was him talking about wanting to do music with Kanye. And I was like, dang, that would have been real cool.
Yeah, and they just released something with Bad Bad Not Good.
Yeah, they just released that.
Who knows? There might be some sort of thing where like his estate's like, here's some stuff he was working on.
Oh, they'll definitely do that. Yeah, and then that'll happen.
Maybe. I mean, I understand why they do it with a lot of, unfortunately past musicians now. They do that where it's like, oh, here's another album. Oh, here's another album. Yeah, he just had this other album lying around or something like that. Or just like released unfinished demos just to get something out because they want to mine another buck.
And I always think that's weird because like they'll be like, oh, we found these songs. These are songs were unreleased from like forever ago. It's like,
maybe there's a reason they're unreleased.
Exactly. Right? They were unreleased for a reason. They didn't want to show these songs off.
I remember when Michael Jackson died. It was like, don't worry, we've got albums for years. Like, the Simpsons song. Yeah. We got stories for, don't worry, no fear. We got stories for years. No worry. We have unfinished albums to release for years that I'm sure Michael Jackson himself would not want out. Don't worry, folks. You'll get your music from a dead man.
You'll get your J-Fix.
Like, I just hope they don't force something out if there is something with MF Doom. Like, don't.
Yeah, maybe
don't
like if he has an album that he was working on, And
maybe. I feel like, I think it's probably, honestly, his family maybe like owns whatever he had, whatever, unreleased stuff, if there's any, which I'm assuming there is. And I mean, like, they released the information that he passed like 3 months after he passed, right?
Yeah, like it was crazy. It was like, oh, he died like months ago when they announced it.
Yeah, maybe they were waiting for like even like them to be ready to announce it,
they went through the grieving process, I'm assuming. And like then they're like, yeah, we can say now So it's like it seems like it might be in good hands.
Yeah.
But hey, not to end on a dour note, but look, food is good. I think you can get all that message from all three of the things we talked about today. I think we had the chef, which is comfort food. We got Overcooked, which shows you how stressful the workplace can be.
Oh
And
yeah.
then we had Food by MF Doom, food for thought, baby, right? There can only be one best in show. Of
Yeah,
course,
what's the best.
It's Food by MF Doom.
It's food.
It's gotta be Food.
How'd you know this one for me, Chris? How'd you know? How you like it? I already know what it is.
I already knew because I
It's
think this is.
food.
I'm so confident in the greatness of this album that I think anyone that listens to it,
yeah,
will at least get something from it. I mean, the only thing I could see someone not liking is they can't get into MF Doom's flow. Maybe.
Yeah, he might not be. He's not a rapper for everybody, I'm sure.
His flow is so different, and maybe not liking the interludes. There are stretches where he doesn't say a word.
Yeah, but there's still beats. There's still a beat in there.
But it still really goes off.
And that's what he says. It's about the beats, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not about the streets.
It gives you that nice conceptual experience. But hey, look, you guys got anything else to say about food?
I like food. Food's good. Yeah.
Of course.
Favorite food?
My favorite food? Shit.
Chris. We're going to go with like a pasta and sausage type deal.
Oh, yeah. He's a pasta man.
Well, yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, I love pasta. I mean, as a kid, my favorite food was mac and cheese. Unfortunately, I haven't updated it since. I can't really.
You don't really think about that a lot.
Yeah.
It's been hard to determine what my favorite food has been lately, especially since I've been just eating literally whatever's in my apartment. Like if it's there, I'll try to do something with it, as opposed to going out and trying to try new foods, which has not been happening whatsoever.
Yeah.
Really, it's an underrated one. I'll say this.
Media.
Well, yeah, I'm consuming
no one thinks about it.
I'm consuming media 24/7, but a good one, get yourself some Eggo waffles, get yourself PB&J, make some waffle PB&Js. They're good.
Oh, yes.
I think there's just a long stretch where that's all I can eat for breakfast because a lot of foods kind of gross me out in the morning sometimes. But
I get that way too. Yeah.
There will be. I mean, I'm a breakfast stretch kind of guy. That's a weird wording, but what I meant by that is there will just be stretches of days where I eat the same thing for breakfast.
I usually don't eat breakfast.
I've started to get into like eating it. Like I don't know.
I have to eat breakfast.
I guess I was just thinking about this. Came off the top of my head. How do you guys eat your Pop-Tarts? There's like multiple ways people eat Pop-Tarts.
I eat mine frosted side first.
Frosted side first?
And then I go in a circular motion around the bottom.
Okay, got you.
That was a joke.
I'm confused. Yeah, I'm a little confused.
No, like, you know how like some people toast it, some people eat it plain, some people freeze them. Have you ever tried frozen Pop-Tarts?
I bet they're good, especially like the s'mores one or like the chocolate one.
Yeah. I don't know. That's something like I like a plain Pop-Tart. I don't toast them.
You don't toast them.
I eat them straight.
Yeah, it depends. It depends for me, whatever I'm feeling.
Yeah.
I try not to buy Pop-Tarts. In fact, I don't ever buy Pop-Tarts. They're too sugary to me. But if I were to consume a nice Pop-Tart, I would just take it out of the wrapper and eat it.
I split it in half, lick out all the insides, and discard the shell.
The shell, like a pistachio, right?
I eat one of the Pop-Tarts, and then I have someone hide them for me, hide the other Pop-Tart. I get blindfolded, and then I run around my apartment looking for the other Pop-Tart, just trying to use my nose. And I smash into a lot of things, baby.
Yeah.
And, maybe a broken TV, a broken bone later, I get my Pop-Tart.
Now, I got a question. I know it's a famous discussion. Is a Pop-Tart a ravioli?
If you want it to be.
To that,
it's all words.
Food questions.
To that question, I say, why don't you go F yourself?
Oh no!
And by that, I mean feed yourself.
Thank you.
Very nice, very friendly, conceptual, considering today's episode of FEEDIA Boys. I think that's where we should end it.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Pop-Tarts, they can be good. A little too sugary, but at the end of the day, they're fun to look at. They're nice and colorful.
You see them in a vending machine.
I think it's funny when they drive around in their oven, in their toasters, and they see their neighbor or someone get murdered by a child.
I like when they're
Pretty cool.
animated and I get to murder them. Yeah.
That's like in the commercial.
I like it.
We'll never stop the Simpsons. Have no fears, we got stories for years. Like Marge becomes a robot, Baby Mo gets a cell phone as Bart and Malone the bear. Or how about a crazy wedding where something happens and do-do-do-do-do. Sorry for the clip show. Have no fears, we got stories for years.
My name is Jeff.